Welcome everyone to Atheism 101. I'm your favorite bard, Korak the Bard, and today I'm happy to announce a miraculous show of progress from a theist friend of mine that almost makes me believe in the divine. Because instead of trading my usual barbs with those who proudly display the love of Christ by calling me a child sex trafficking sympathizer, I decided instead that I've got to try a little tenderness, and my efforts have paid off handsomely. I'm speaking, of course, about our young friend Peyton Shane, who has something to say to the atheist community at large.
I've kind of changed my stance on things a little bit, and I want to make this be like an apology video to the atheist community.
You see, what began as a mostly combative exchange between my channel and his led to one of the most wholesome videos I've ever made in an attempt to find common ground with this young firebrand of a Christian. And having reached an understanding, Peyton was open-minded enough to consider an alternate perspective and reach a different conclusion.
So I feel like I did kind of go about those videos the wrong way. And it's mostly because I didn't really provide a lot of reasons for why I believe the things that I do. Instead, my tactic was to just try and make the atheists feel stupid for their beliefs. The point of it was to kind of trigger people, cause a reaction, and I thought maybe if they'd see how confident I am in my beliefs in something as controversial as the existence of God, to the point where I'd be willing to poke fun at the people with the opposite viewpoint, maybe that would be kind of a way for them to reconsider. But it seemed like it did the exact opposite.
Here's why it had the opposite effect. Because I'm not doing what I do out of sheer confidence, bravado, or anything like that. My arguments are based on research coupled with years of experience as both a minister and an anti-theist, and you don't win arguments on machismo alone. Well, if you're the subject of one of my diss tracks, maybe I do. But that's not where we're going here. The intended purpose of my videos is to inform, engage, and entertain. If you make fallacious arguments that I can easily poke holes in, how you feel about it is entirely up to you.
If you want people to hear you out, you gotta make them feel like that you're willing to hear them out too. You don't want to just dismiss their viewpoint. You don't want to act like their experiences don't matter and that their viewpoint is irrelevant and not worth hearing out.
Well said. That's why I typically like to start conversations with theists by asking them what they believe and why, so we can start to reach a common understanding.
There comes a point in someone's belief system to where they do have faith, and a lot of the atheists will say they don't have any faith, they just believe in the science and the facts. But you know that's BS. You know you have faith.
Sorry, Hans, wrong guess.
Would you like to go for double jeopardy where the scores can really change?
Here you go again, telling me what I believe. Now let's get a couple of things straight. Science isn't a belief system. It's simply a method of describing and measuring the observable universe. It requires no faith and shows the math for anyone who wants to question why we're reaching the conclusions we're coming to. It's the reason you're able to broadcast online today, because one scientist went to another and said, "I think this is how this thing works." And that scientist tested it and was able to repeat the results, and voila, the internet was born. As for what I believe in, well, I believe that secular humanism is a superior moral position to any theistic dogma, because secular humanism isn't bogged down by arcane and grotesque human rights violations like treating people as property or certain people as second-class citizens depending on their birth, culture, creed, or gender. But I believe that based on measurable and repeatable results, because I don't want to believe in anything that requires me to simply have faith without being able to provide repeatable, testable conditions with measurable results that can be objectively verified.
You have faith in the scientists that told you the scientific facts that apparently disproved God's existence, which nothing does. You can't disprove God's existence. I can't prove that he exists. You guys can't prove he doesn't exist.
Exactly. You can't prove your God exists, and I can't disprove it. any more than you can disprove Odin, Zeus, Bigfoot, unicorns, or the Loch Ness Monster. If you're claiming a God exists, the burden of proof is on you. And if your God is unfalsifiable, then it's not worth my time. It requires no faith for me to dismiss your claim that some entity created everything and has set some moral obligations to a single species of bipedal mammal on a single planet among trillions. But let me not lose sight of the fact that you took a bold step today, and I applaud you for it. As a druidic bard, extra points for the nature walk. Now, I don't normally speak on behalf of the atheist community at large, but today, as a proud card-carrying member and representative,
So I'm sorry to the atheists.
I accept your apology.
Are you ready for a miracle?
And with that, I'm happy to announce that young Peyton and I have been speaking behind the scenes and plan on doing a really exciting collaborative project together where we're going to be raising money for the homeless. Watch this space for details in a future video. Until next time, this is your favorite bard, Korak the Bard, singing off with...
They say miracles happen every day. That means there are no miracles. The things that we deem to be miraculous simply come from us.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and special thanks to my patrons who get exclusive content along with behind-the-scenes looks at my upcoming projects, all over at patreon.com/KorakTheBard. Be sure to join me on Twitter before the dumpster fire goes out, and if you want to toss a coin to your witcher, aim it in the general direction of buymeacoffee.com/KorakTheBard. Until next time, everyone, be the miracle someone else was praying for.